everyone, in today's video I am going to do a little bit of garden cleanup and also do a little update of my winter sowing containers with little sprouts. And I do apologize for taking so long to create another video. The last few days or weeks it's been really wet, so it finally dried out a little bit so that I can get some work done in my garden. So this is one of the plots that I'm going to go ahead and clean up, and I'm going to remove the plastic forks and the chicken wire that I used to protect my peas that I grew here, as well as tomato cages. And I'm going to cut down the brown pea plants down just to the soil level and leave the roots in. And because the roots will have these little nodes that hold nitrogen, that will release back into the ground to become available for the next plants that I'll grow here. And I also have some fava beans in the corner there that I will do the same, remove the chicken wire, the sticks, and cut down the plants down to the soil level, as fava beans are also part of the legume groups and also have the nodes that grow on the roots that holds nitrogen. I laid out my canvas tarp, and I'm going to go ahead and dump out my compost can, which I basically made out of a trash can and drilled a bunch of holes around the sides and the bottom, and see if there's any usable compost. And if there are, then I'll just go ahead and take a shovel and put it on top of my garden bed so I just cleared off, rake it out evenly, and add some chopped leaves to keep it mulched and from the soil from blowing away. So here is the finished product, and I'm really happy about it. I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to break down, but obviously it has. The bottom part still needs to get thrown back in to finish off, but majority of it's done. So let me break off a piece and show it up close. Ooh. So that's the finished product. It's still a little wet, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw it on top. It'll probably dry out a little bit, and that'll be some good stuff for my garden for my upcoming garden. So the garden beds are cleared out, has a nice inch of, or less than an inch of compost and some mulched leaves on top. So I'm just going to leave them to rest until it's time to plant in. And I think what I'll also do is remove the garden fleece from the center here. I have broccoli growing there, I'll move that. And also remove the fleece right over there where I have some collards growing as well as celery. And there's one other bed, which is my lettuce bed. It has bolted or gone to seed. It sent flowers out. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the fleece on that and just leave it be until maybe next weekend, where I'll clear it out and do the same thing. And hopefully I'll be able to get some bags of compost so I can do the same things to the rest of the beds. And also finish my project right over there where I created the garden beds on the side of my house, and I took the turf and just kind of threw it up there to build up a garden area because it's all rock over there. I'll probably put some peat moss and some compost and layer it just like I did with the other beds, and get that done for this upcoming growing season as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at my winter sowing containers and see how they're doing. So I pulled off some of the covers, and this is my turnip and carrot bed, and I decided to pull a couple carrots out to see how they're coming along, and they're still pretty tiny. I have a little white carrot and a little very tiny orange carrot, so I'm just going to leave them in the ground for a little bit longer, and then try maybe closer to spring to see how they're doing. But I do see some turnips that look ready to pick, so I'll go ahead and pick those. And they're also going to be a little tiny. That is what I was able to harvest, and this was basically an experiment to see if I could grow throughout the winter. I sowed the seeds directly into the bed in late summer, threw a fleece over, or a floating row cover, and just made sure to monitor the moisture level, and pretty much didn't have to do much work, and the fleece did a really great job of keeping my plants alive. The radishes the turnips are still a little small, but that's okay. I can leave them out, but I really would like to get this bed completely cleared, as I'm going to use it to grow strawberries. This is the purple sprouting broccoli. Still a little small, but I can see some new leaves coming in. So I'm just going to leave the floating row covers off and see if they continue to grow, and if not, I'll just pull them, throw them in the compost bin, and leave this area for the next growing area. And here I have my celery and then collards, and the little green tops are some garlic that I had planted, and my lettuce that has gone to seed. So I'm just going to leave the flowers in. I'll clear out this bed later with a few rows of garlic and more collards that I think will continue to grow, and I'll be able to pick and then completely just pull them up. And I'm going to leave the row covers on these because there's a lot of open space, and I am worried that the squirrels or chipmunks will dig in and bother my garlic bulbs. So I've lifted all the lids, and let me give you a closer look to all my little seedlings that started. So all the seedlings have popped up and they're doing great. And again, when it starts to get into the 60s, you can, during the day, you can remove the covers, but you'll want to put it back on if the nighttime temperatures aren't going to stay 50 or above. And I love to start my seeds using this method because I have all winter long to sow my seeds, and they'll pop up closer to spring, and then they'll be ready to go into the garden when when summer has arrived. So that's it for today, and hopefully I'll have another video for you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe.